Hello and welcome to Hillbilly DVD Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the 1984 cult classic Special Effects. Now this movie came out in 1984, was written and directed by the legendary exploitation filmmaker Larry Cohen, starring Eric Bogosian, Zoe Lund, aka Zoe Tamerlis, and some motherfucker named Brad Ridgen I never heard of before. This was written and directed by Larry Cohen. He started out in the 70s directing blaxploitation flicks like Black Caesar, Hell Up in Harlem. Then in the 70s he did a lot of genre fare like God Told Me To, all kinds of crazy shit. I became a fan when I was younger. I saw a lot of his 80s movies like the one he did right before this, Q, which was about a fucking pterodactyl living up on the top of the Chrysler building. Then in 85 he did another movie I really liked called The Stuff, which was about killer yogurt turning people into fucking zombies. Well, this is the one he did kind of in between those. You know, he does wacky ass movies, and this one it was a little more down to earth, but he still put some bizarre twists on it. What Special Effects is about? Well, it's kind of muddled, kind of strange, but it all makes sense. It starts out, there's a woman, she's on a fake Oval Office, she's getting naked, a bunch of fucking perverts are just taking fucking pictures of her with like home cameras and shit. It's very bizarre, like little Polaroid Matics and shit that they had back in 1983. Her hick husband comes in and says, Mary Jean, you done come in here and fucking ran off to New York City, become a big star, and look at you. All you're doing is fucking getting naked for these perverts and shit. Fucking doing everything they want, fucking taking your clothes off, sucking dick, whatever. So basically what happens is it starts out as a story of a hick going to the big city to get his wife back because she ran off to be a fucking starlet slut bitch. He drags his wife out of there. You know, everybody sees a big commotion, all the abusive husband, blah, blah. He throws her fucking ass in the car, hits her head accidentally, whatever. He makes her watch a fucking, like an old 16mm reel of their son that's back in Oklahoma waiting for him, this little 3-year-old kid. And, you know, basically she has no remorse. This woman is a bitch and then some, and a slut, and she loves it. She still thinks she's going to be a big fucking star. So anyway, she jumps out of the window. And this whole thing, the whole 15 minutes, listen man, I like this movie, but you got to bear with the first 15 minutes. It was a weird choice that I guess Larry Cohen made. But when I started watching, I'm like, man, this fucking acting and shit is terrible. It's just off. It's weird, you know, the pacing of the lines or whatever. Then I figured out, wait a minute, this fucking woman's voice is fucking dubbed. I'm like, why the fuck would an American movie made by Americans be dubbed? Well, okay, without giving too much away, basically, the same woman plays two different parts in this movie, and for the first part, they dubbed in some other lady's voice, you know, to make it like a different type of person, whatever. I think they just should have had the actress do another accent, whatever. It was a little corny. It kind of made the first 15 minutes rough and go. But that shit passed, and it became like a regular movie, and fucking wasn't all chop-socky and shit. This slut, she jumps out the window, she goes, and she hears that some motherfucker named Chris Neville, played by Eric Bogosian, a big Hollywood director, he done got kicked off the set of his latest movie for being a pervert or some shit. But she goes to his apartment, and she offers to suck his dick and all this shit to get in one of his movies. So basically, he takes her to his bedroom. He's got a fucking old 16mm camera fucking rolling. You filming them having sex, whatever. She hears the camera and all of a sudden gets pissed. He strangles her to fucking death. Kills her right there on film. Okay, this ain't spoiler shit. This all happens in the first like 20 minutes of the movie. This is all the setup. Eric Bogosian goes, he takes her body, dumps it out of Coney Island, and all of a sudden the cops, you know, they want to get the fucking hick husband for doing it. You know, because that's what all lazy cops do, man. After OJ, they want to fucking arrest every husband for killing every wife, whatever. They don't even look at other suspects. So Eric Bogosian's sitting there. He's like, this is great, man. This fucking hick is going to go to jail forever for this murder I committed. But the best part is I got the film. Because this Eric Bogosian, Hollywood director character, he's fucking evil in this movie. And that's what makes this movie fucking great and memorable. Is, even though he's a big Hollywood director, he just sits in his house all day long watching the fucking Zapruder film and jacking off to it. He just loves seeing real people get killed on film. So then he, you know, after he fucking murders this girl on film, he starts looking at that over and over and he starts jacking off to it nonstop. So anyway, he's like, wait a minute. He's like, that's how I want to get back in Hollywood. I want to take the footage of this real murder I did, because see, the way the camera was, it just showed his hands choking her to death. So you couldn't really tell it was fucking him or whatever. So what he does, he goes, he hires a big shot lawyer to get the hick husband out of jail, and he says, listen buddy, I'm so sorry what happened to you and your wife. you know, I want to make a movie about it. And the husband's like, what, a movie, blah, 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 because he's fucking dumb hick. So he says, I want you to play yourself, and we'll get an actress that looks just like your wife to play your wife. And the hick's like, man, you know, whatever, I'll go along with it. And then on top of it, Eric Bogosian goes to the fucking detectives, and he says, hey, and by the way, detectives, I want to hire you as fucking consultants on the movie. So what he does is he's got the hick husband who's eventually going to take the fall for this murder he committed. He's getting him into this movie that's like this weird docudrama, all this shit. He's got the cops as consultants, so meanwhile he's pumping the cops for information, seeing what they know, and the whole time dumb fucking detectives think it's the hick husband. They have no fucking clue. They're making this movie. Eric Bogosian's just loving it, man, this whole mass manipulation, and his whole plan is he's going to make a movie kind of like some Star 80 type bullshit about this hick husband who kills his wife, but then he's going to insert the real murder into the fucking movie. Fucking genius, genius, genius. Talk about an evil, diabolical motherfucker. But in order to pull it off, he's got to find an actress for the rest of the movie that looks just like the real one they killed. So basically, the hick husband actually finds her working at some Goodwill shit, some British chick, and it's the same girl who got killed in the beginning, but now she got brown hair, she got English accent, all this shit. So they convince her to fucking play the role of the slut who got killed. She gets in there. Then it's kind of like some love, romance bullshit, triangle bullshit between the fucking evil director, the hick husband, and then this new woman. The hick husband loves her because she looks so much like his old wife, and fucking the director, Eric Bogosian, fucking wants to get in her pants because he wants to duplicate a fucking murder, blah, blah, blah. I ain't going to give away the ending. The ending is shocking, crazy shit happens. But it really, what it is, it's really Robert Altman's the player, but done like 10 years earlier and like way more fucking sinister and evil and shit. It's original, man. I'm going to give it a warts and all 7 out of 10. Now, picture and sound, this being a DVD, you know, it ain't going to have fucking great Blu-ray picture and shit like that. But it's not fucking bad. I'll give them credit, man. For old obscure shit, somehow they found a print, didn't have no dirt, no scratches on it. You know, the way the movie shot is very clean, very basic looking. You know, ended up being a nice looking DVD. It did a good job. Sound wise, only 2.0 stereo, but hey, this movie was made before surround sound. It still actually looks very good for a DVD, especially DVD. I've paid fucking $3 for it. Big lots, goddammit. So, on the picture and sound, I'm going to give it, by DVD standards, a 7.5. Special features, like a lot of obscure movies and stuff, they done shit the bed. I guess nobody was rolling any behind the scenes shit back then or did any interviews, which is a shame because I really would like at least a commentary track to know what fucking Larry Cohen was thinking and shit, because he's a genius storyteller. But, you know, they just didn't do it. All they have is a theatrical trailer, which I want you to not watch, even though it's on YouTube and shit. Don't look it up. Don't do it. Because it gives away fucking, it's just a fucking trailer. It gives away the whole movie, even the ending, even what happens at the end, and you don't want that. So, just that little theatrical trailer that spoils it all up, you know, that ain't much, man. I gotta give it, you know, 1 out of 10 special features. So that's it for the kinky jack-off fest known as special effects, which actually, that, you know, the back of the thing they describe as kinky lurid thriller, where the fuck, it's really not, man. There's some fucking, and they show fucking the woman's tits a lot on there, but, I mean, hey, what, that's fucking, you know, that's normal. The girl who actually plays the dual parts real quick here is Zoe Lund, aka Zoe Tamerless. She was actually a really interesting person. She was a model, and then she became an actress. She starred in Abel Ferrara's Miss 45 a couple years before this. Then she started this. She starred in some other movies. But what's real interesting is she actually was one of the co-writers of Bad Lieutenant and was in the movie Bad Lieutenant. She's in the scene where Harvey Keitel shoots up with the heroin and all that shit. Because unfortunately she was a real-life heroin user. And, you know, she made it real public, real known. It wasn't like a dirty secret with her. She was, like, putting it out there that she thought heroin was a great thing to do. Unfortunately, you know, she died back in 1999 at the age of 37 from heart failure because of all this heroin use. So that's, like, another thing, man. Like, you see this woman getting killed on film and, you know, doing this real, you know, down and gritty performance and stuff. And it's just like, man, it's like, and what happened to her in real life, it's like, you know, it's kind of creepy. That's just another thing that gives this movie an edge.